Hey, guess what? We're live.
Hey, guess what? It's just the Ska Kid. We're at Palace de Chilarino. This is the Knights of the Round Table.
Gift points.
Beer guy.
Josie.
And tonight, for a special edition, we have Epic XVIII all the way from California with us on the phone. Hello, guys.
How's it going? Hello.
So, we did introductions. You do introductions. Please tell us your name and what you do in the band.
I'm Adam Marquez. I play the baritone saxophone and I sing lead vocals.
I'm Eli and I'm keyboards. I'm Thomas and I manage the band and take pictures. And that's all of us for now.
All right, and how about...
There are 7 of us, but only 2 for now.
So, missing members, you want to do an introduction as to who we're missing and what they do?
Yeah. Yeah, we're missing Austin Chaladine on the guitar, John Mortacini on the trombone, Logan Alvarado on the trumpet, Andrew Martino on the bass. I forgot his last name for 5 seconds. And Eddie Hester. And Eddie Hester on the drums.
And that's an 8-piece, correct? If I did math right?
Well, it's 7-piece. Tom is the the hidden member that is not on stage with us, but always there and always, really kind of a root of what we get done.
So let's talk briefly about that, because I met Thomas before I had the pleasure of talking with any of you. How did you choose to have a manager, and what does Thomas do for you?
So Thomas goes way back with me personally, and he ended up managing one of my old bands, Los Lobos Locos, and he had, that was where he got started. He just kind of come to me and got his foot in the door, and then we decided to take a tour. We lived in a van together for a couple of years, switching bassists, and then we split up for a couple of years, went our separate ways. I got my family going. Then we needed a little help with my family. He came down here. I had the band going, so he decided to jump back on the music bandwagon. And just started pushing what we were doing.
And so, we've had a few other bands who've had managers, but mainly I would say that role has just been like maintaining some sort of social media presence and trying to connect with shows. I know that Thomas does a lot of promotion for you guys and your social media presence, but talk a little bit, is he solely responsible for booking all of your shows, and does that mean he says, hey guys, there's a show, you should connect with this guy, or does he take that extra step and go ahead and just schedule you?
No, he's the social person, the social butterfly. He gets on the phone, he makes all the contacts. He's the one that jumps out of the van when we show up. When he's not there and I have to do it, it's always much more unpleasant. But yeah, we always kind of draw straws, and I'm always the one that ends up doing it. But when Tom's there, it's just we pull up and Tom jumps out of the van and goes and puts a face to the person he's been emailing, and they're already buddy because he's been talking to them, and life goes well. Pretty much, I don't think we've ever run into a problem. He does everything. We do music. We do that end, and he yelled at us about trying to get a little bit more on social media, and I don't even have any social media nonsense. I have an email account.
Do you see...
But,
go on.
Go ahead.
Nope, you finish your thought.
But yeah, so he does absolutely everything that is not playing music and getting in front of people and setting up sound and recording and all that fun stuff. Although he does self-record. He hits the R button for me sometimes when I need him to.
So how long has Epic XVIII been a band, and where did that name come from?
Official start is about 3 years ago. The iteration that it is now we're about a year strong at the moment. So 3 years ago, it started, as the song says, with the crack of the neck and a whip of the spine. My son, a pile drives me from the second bunk bed, the top bunk, and my back was all messed up for a while, and I was teaching elementary at the time, and I was sitting on a table in front of my students, and my back just like froze on me, and I fell off the table. And my students all panicked, and the principal got called in. It was a big old ordeal. So my wife made me go to the chiropractor, and that's where we met the bassist. Or I met the bassist. She said, I have a bunch of bassists. You should come hang out. And so, all right, let's come hang out. And then him and I just hit it off for a while. Started hanging out pretty much every single night and just getting food and beer and playing music. And then he said, you know, we need to start a band. And I called a couple other friends I know from around the valley that were music teachers or educated or in the process, and kind of started it from there, and then started meeting other people and filled out the spots we needed.
And how did you get the name Epic 18?
It's like really honestly the old trombone player came in with Epic 11. It sounds like it's got alliteration and it sounds cool. I said, well, you know what, 11 sounds like it's a possible ska band number, so let's go with 18.
Just to be different.
Well, no, well, so it's like, 18 is like, that's the goal, right? We're trying to get to an 18-piece ska band, right?
Oh, wow. You want the full orchestra.
Big ska band.
A mini jazz band.
Yeah.
So, you had said, a previous trombonist. Is this the original lineup, or how many changes have happened to what we've heard tonight?
New trombone, new piano player is not on the original, and that's it. Oh, drummer. Sorry, and crazy. Yeah, and new drummer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Always forget the drummer.
Well, the last one was crazy. So, anyways, with that being said, you guys have done a whole bunch since the first time that I met or spoke with Thomas. So give us kind of a little bit of a back history as to some of the really cool things you've done, because you guys are a backing band, right?
The house band.
The house
Oh yeah.
band?
We had a pretty cool experience with Gary Bushel for his late night show called Later Las Vegas, and it was in Las Vegas. They took us, we were in a recording studio for 8 hours, basically playing music for 2, and it was a lot of standing around and okay, let's play music for 30 seconds. But what's really cool is every single member in the band, we have some type of musical training. So, and with Adam is a music teacher, Logan's a music teacher. There's so much musical discipline in the band that when we were there, it was really easy to be like, okay, we need a 15-second intro, ready, 1, 2, 3, go, and then play a 15-second intro. And then we had to learn a couple new songs for that gig, and I think we had like 2 days to learn that song, right? We had 2 weeks on one of them, 2 days, 3 days on the other, something like that.
Yeah, they gave us not much time, but we pulled it through, and it was a blast. It was a wonderful experience, and we're hoping that it goes through. I think Thomas knows a little bit more about how that's going.
Is this the test of the emergency broadcast system? Hello?
Can you hear us?
Hello?
I can hear you. You said something that the world didn't like. Big Brother said no.
Oh.
I don't know.
It just stopped.
Did we lose you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great.
Can you hear me now?
You were going to segue saying that Thomas had more information on what that means.
Oh, because we took so long. There you go.
Yeah, sorry, Thomas on the update.
So right now, we're just waiting for it to finish up in post-production, and then it should be looked at by a pretty strong agency up in LA. So there's that going for the band. We have a couple shows now lined up as well in the LA area, Long Beach area, and working on getting out towards Phoenix and Las Vegas this summer.
Very cool. Well, that kind of was going to bring me to the next question. In the press release that we read, it did say that you play in California and northern Mexico, and then, you know, Arizona, etc. So talk about some upcoming shows and what you see going into the summer.
So as of right now, we have a show booked every month through August. And this month we'll have a show May 25th out in Yuma for Jacked Up Customs. They'll be having Bike Night, and we'll be supported by Clandestino from Mexicali, and then Los Motorcyclos from San Luis, Colorado, out in the Yuma area. And then we have June 22nd, which would be the LA Stand-Up Comedy Festival in Hollywood. That's going to be a fun event, 2-day event. We'll be the only band for the night on Saturday night. And then after that, we have July 12th out in Shoreline Village. That's Long Beach area. And that'll be a 3-hour event where we play a bunch of covers and a bunch of originals. And it's a good family fun event. After that is August 2nd back at Shoreline Village. And then we have I Love Ska Festival at the end of August, or mid-August, August 17th, actually. So a lot of things are booked and planned out.
Where's that?
Rosarito, Mexico.
So how easy or difficult has it been to cross the border and play in another country?
Oh man, so we're like let's get rid of it. We're 14 miles from Mexico. So going to Mexicali is not that big of a deal. It's a 30-minute drive. And then sometimes we go to San Luis, and that's about like an hour and a half. Yeah, like an hour. But yeah, we are very, very close to the border, so going back and forth is no big deal. We love doing it. They love us over there, honestly.
Just coming back, line is a problem.
Yeah, waiting back in the United States it's just tiring.
Yeah, talk about that. How does that go? We had a band that was going to come from England, but their tour kind of got disrupted. And so, you know, trying to get over here and do that wasn't going to happen. But, you know, he said going through customs with all their shit is horrible. How is it, as a band, trying to move 8 people over the border back here with musical equipment and such?
So, 100% honest, most of the time it is fun. It is not a big deal. We don't have a car that fits all of us yet, so we'll put the equipment and most of the people in a car, and a couple of us will go and walk across and take a taxi to wherever we need to go, or do something like that. And then it's just coming back. Sometimes the customs, if you get pulled into secondary, they just don't care. They take your stuff, they throw it on the ground, they open it up, they toss it around, they don't close it when they put it back, scuff it up, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I've heard stories of them, like, flat out, we have not had it happen to us, but I've heard stories of them about knifing a seat to see if there's drugs or whatever in it, and they find nothing, and that's the end of the story. Move on.
That's horrible.
But we've had our stuff knocked around and dropped, and just, you know, you have to just sit there and keep your mouth shut.
Wow. That'd be difficult if they're handling your expensive-ass instruments and they're breaking shit.
Yeah, you know, it's either that, but you can yell, but there's you all sitting there for that much longer.
Yeah.
I can believe it. Now you're going to jail because you talked back.
And that's how it works. It's crazy. You know, people don't. When you live in North America and you don't deal with this, like, you don't ever see that crap. Like, yeah, okay, America, we're a free country. You get to do what you want. You know, just when you follow the speed limit and whatnot. But when you see that crap, it's like, I'm an American citizen. Why am I being detained right now? Oh, because you feel like it? And that happens, for us to drive to San Diego, there is a checkpoint because it is close enough to the border in the mountains. And that sometimes, takes 30, 45 minutes just sitting there in line in the hot day, heating up your car. And they'll pull you over and you got to sit there. If it's freezing cold outside, you got to get out of your car and you got to sit there. They go drive your car around and comes back, whatever. It's just how it goes.
Wow. So I guess for anybody who wanted to come and then play or have you help them with shows, be patient and polite, right? That's the advice?
Amen.
Yeah.
Shitty gear.
So, do you guys have any ambitions or goals to do any sort of cross-country tours? Would we ever get to meet you in person?
Yeah, we'd like to. The truth of it is, we're all working. Summer, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the summer one of these days. And we're pushing for it, but getting all our schedules on tight and getting the money to make it happen. And right now, the question when Tom says, "Here's a gig," is it worth it? And that is it worth our time? And it doesn't always have to be money if we know that it's a worthwhile show where there's going to be a large number of people that haven't had the chance to hear us. That is beyond worth it to us, like promotion and getting that chance. Yeah, even if if we're not getting a dime out of it, we're paying for gas, we're paying for a hotel, whatever, we've done that if it is worth it. But that's where we're at this point in our lives with kids and all that other stuff. Is it cost effective, and is it what we were trying to do as far as fan base and grow as a band effective?
Yes, how is your fan base and the scene out there where you guys are?
Lacking a little. Little.
It's growing.
It's growing.
Your
but,
fan base or the scene?
What was that?
I said your fan base or the scene?
The scene. The scene. The Imperial Valley scene. We've played a couple local places. We're a small town, whenever we go to bigger places, we get more people. That's kind of common sense, but I remember when we did ska punk bowling in Phoenix, we had a packed bar and people going crazy, jumping around, and Mexicali, Mexicali is usually almost guaranteed skank pit, and but here there's just not too many. I shouldn't say this because I know somebody that owns one of the venues here, but there aren't too many kind of big venues that can hold us essentially. But hopefully there will be. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like our fan base is pretty widespread.
When you said hold us, it's really, there's not much of a stage on some of these venues.
Yeah, it's kind of just showing up and playing in a corner sometimes, and
They're expecting an acoustic and like maximum a drum, a power trio kind of thing.
Oh. So what is the predominant music scene where you folks are located?
Banda and mariachi?
well, okay,
Country. Or country. Yeah, depends on, or country. Those are the bands that get hired around here.
Yes, okay. Well, okay,
Cover bands.
Oh, yeah. Rock cover bands.
Don't count.
They like that stuff around.
Sorry, you like that stuff.
And then I think there is a pretty good metal scene going on right now.
Yeah.
So there's that, and a couple good rap groups going on. Like the music scene is slowly starting to grow, but it's growing from pretty much nothing. So I would say predominantly, if you're going to a local show, it's probably going to be metal of some type, or mariachi, banda, stuff like that.
So then how have you been able to break ground and start playing locally?
Throwing our own shows. Thomas and I was just, at first, we kind of picked a spot and started trying to help them grow, help us grow. and putting on we do all the sound equipment, we do everything. When Tom gets on the computer and starts meeting bands online and inviting them down and trying to help them so that we have somewhere to go, and like they come stay at the house, and that kind of thing. And that didn't end up working out, and we tried to find another place, and then that didn't end up working out. Bars are fun around here. They're interesting.
Yeah, they come and go.
So yeah, it's been very difficult for us to have an establishment to it, and I think that's part of what he means as far as they can't hold us as well. We start bringing in loud music and big crowds, and it kind of they don't know what to do with themselves sometimes, it hasn't worked out as far as a location for us. As soon as we have a consistent location, I think we'll do pretty well.
That's just on this side of the border. We have a 15-minute drive that we can take, and it's a whole nother aspect of the music scene that is available to us. So we really have used that to our advantage and to help open up doors with the Mexicali bands that exist. There's a huge ska scene in Mexicali that hasn't died out, and it is going strong each and every year.
Yeah,
And the food is better.
The food is amazing.
So international is the way to go.
Always.
No wall. Music can bust through.
Yeah, it's a good time down there every time.
So you have this new album that you've done, Epic XVIII, and the Roman numerals, guys. Why Roman numerals?
You want the real answer or the good answer?
Both.
There is no good answer. Give you the real answer. So the Epic XVIII thing stuck because there's definitely no band called Epic XVIII. The only thing that is Epic XVIII, if you put it in, is a kayak.
Yeah?
Yeah, look it up right now if you like. Epic, the number 18, and it pops up with a kayak, and I think we might show up kind of down the road. So we were kind of fighting with them for a minute, and we couldn't get above this damn kayak because, they're paying for ad space. And it's not the brand name Epic XVIII, it's some other brand, but Epic XVIII is a line of kayaks. So one day it'll go away or whatever. But, yeah, so we just switched to the Roman numerals, and then we kind of took over that, what that looks. You need a symbol on the internet net. And so for the Roman numerals, that's definitely us. If you throw that in, that we like the first 3 pages of content.
Right. So who does your artwork?
Rebecca's our artist. She's a student out at Cal State Fullerton.
And she's kind of the awesomest.
She is the awesome.
She's very cool.
Did you say kinda? How dare you? That was
Great talented. No, she does great artwork. She's done all kind of. My banjo is my favorite thing she's done. It is the super coolest looking. She painted the head of my banjo with a were yoke, playing the banjo, and it's pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool. Are you going to incorporate any of that into any upcoming music?
I don't know if the ska scene's ready for the banjo, and I don't know if I'm ready to bring that out of the world just yet. So
Nobody has to be ready
to get
for
that
it. Nobody has to be ready for it. That's where you just become a leader. That's how that works, right? So,
but yes, I haven't been thinking about incorporating.
because with Outlaw, you could add some good twang in those dark horn parts. There's a lot of quiet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, that came from a rockabilly band. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, speaking of your new album, and we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of this interview, you guys are doing a live stream on Saturday. You want to talk a little bit about that and how people can find you?
Yes, Thomas. So the live stream will be available across most streaming platforms. That includes Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook will be doing from our phone, so that way you will be able to just connect to the Epic XVIII band page and view the live stream. Other than that, we will provide links on our website, which is epicxvii.com, and that'll be available, and then just click the links and go.
Awesome. And you guys are going to do the full album.
Yeah, start to finish. And then I think we may have a special surprise afterwards for people tuning in. We like testing our limits, I guess is what we're trying to say.
You guys like it.
Yeah, we do. And we've been trying to grow some ghost peppers, so we may have something in store for those watching.
Wow.
I love me some peppers.
So feel free, of course, to cross post to our page, and I'm sure we'll catch it on Saturday and share it as well. But with that being said, who recorded this album, and how long did it take you to record this?
We do it all at my house. We do it little by little. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that much time at the end of the day, but it's over the span of a couple months, 3 months, right? We started in like February, we started we already started a second album, but so for the first album, all we did was have the guitarist come in and throw down a bass track. And everyone felt like that a little stagnant, so this time we did like a dry run through of all the tracks, and it came out a lot better. So the next one I'm even more excited about. But we started with the drum tracks, and I just threw that down. Eddie is a beast. He got that done in 2 days, and probably, I'd say maximum 8 hours, probably something like 6 hours. Just runs through each song like 2-3 times, maybe 4 times if he felt like he messed it up or something. And then, yeah, he just plows through it. The guitarist Austin, he usually plows through everything in honestly one take. And then we'll go do a second, maybe a third take for him. And then the only big thing with him is switching between clean and distorted and his sounds and stuff, his pedals. Bass usually goes pretty quick. He's kind of funny. He'll record and then he'll decide he doesn't like it and want to come back and do it the next week. So he takes some time, but I usually let him go right after the drums for that reason. But, it's like 3 months of just here and there and whenever we can and whenever I can get my kids to be quiet or my wife wants to take the kids fishing or something.
So you do everything in-house, mix, master, record, all of it?
Yep.
Awesome. So then here's my next question, and it is something I ask everybody, so Thomas should be prepared. Are you using a distributor? Are you posting by yourselves independently on things?
Currently, we are using CD Baby for distribution because we are only planning to use this album digitally. We are looking for a distributor for this upcoming album and for ongoing projects.
Why are you going to use a distributor?
Because I think what we're trying to do is also look for an international market, and I don't know where to go for that. And I feel that maybe better, who knows, record shops sell better internationally, but I feel we can go through somebody with a little bit more knowledge in that realm for the international market.
SoundCloud is huge for that. Also, we have a bunch of international people now that are European on our page. So I can connect you with a few people who have booked for other, like Madagascar recently has become a thing that are touring all over. They're called the Dizzy Brains. They're touring all over Europe, and this guy watches our show. So we can help connect you to that. But I don't want you to lose your rights and royalties, goddammit. Have you heard me preach?
I guess not.
I mean, you guys have just the few snippets that we played. What a difference from the first time I heard you to now. Yeah. It is amazing. It is way more professionally groomed and mature. You can hear all of the parts. You, like I said on the last video as we were listening, sound like New York ska jazz ensemble meets Mad Caddies, and I would dare throw in like the occasional Bim Scala Bim and Hepcat influence. So you cross a lot of really musically mature genre within ska. You don't want.
Thank you.
So don't give that away. Don't give it away, Thomas.
We're on. Don't worry. We write the songs down. We mail them to ourselves.
So, that being said, right now you're on Bandcamp, so people can listen there. What other platforms can people obtain this on? Are you on SoundCloud?
So today I just put the entire album on SoundCloud. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's released on Saturday as well. So I'm not sure if you can listen to it right now or if it won't launch until this weekend.
Gotcha.
Aside from that, the album will be live on Spotify, on iTunes, on Amazon, Google Play, or Google Music, whatever works there. We do have a couple of the songs available on Reverb Nation, for those of you that do listen on Reverb. And then there's one other place, but I'm spacing on it right now.
What would you
No, my space.
What's the
CD.
huh?
It's available on CD as well.
So do you have any hard copies?
No. Much to my chagrin.
So, are you familiar with who Viva Ska Radio is? Who Josh is?
Josh, yeah, we've talked once in the past.
So, I would encourage you to try to get a hard copy because he will play your music for you, but it has to be on either a CD or a vinyl. But that is also, even though he's based out of Las Vegas, he gets a lot of international attention because we talked about that in the interview we did with him. So, are you going to be...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, are you going to be sending out links or the press kit that you sent me to local radio stations and underground college radios and like podcasts and things to assist with play?
So I've been on the computer for the last, since the start of this week and much of last week as well. Just hitting up different radio stations, different newspapers, anything that is publication and press, just to get the word out there for the upcoming album. Aside from that, we have been playing on Button Down Radio, coming out of the UK, the 24-hour ska radio station. Bob Ska Radio out in Pennsylvania.
Green! Okay, go on, sorry.
And I know Tazy has received our stuff, and he was promoting today's event yesterday on the Ska Crate page as well.
So if you ever want any of, like, around here in the Midwest to pump that, we can give you a list of people to reach out to as well if you want to drop that places too. We're here to connect.
Yes.
That's what we do.
We love the connect.
Woo! So what would you say is the best platform, or where would you like to drive people's attention to find you?
I guess the easiest answer is wherever you pay attention to social media. We aren't very much attention seekers in that. We do use that just to continue to promote our music, promote the upcoming events, but we seek out the personal connection to those that are coming to our shows. We enjoy that connection, that organic, if you will. But Facebook seems to be our most popular thing, and Instagram would be number 2.
What kind of merch do you have available?
Currently, we have one shirt, which is our Epic XVIII logo on the front, and on the back is the Epic XVIII Explosion. We have stickers available, pins, and then also, What Do You Know About Ska Punk Volume 2, which we were featured on.
So fun aside real quick, our 14-year-old last week had picture day, and he gets in the car and he's like, it's picture day tomorrow, and we're like, good thing you have nice clothes at home. And he grabs his Epic XVIII shirt that you sent us, and he's like, no, I'm not a joke, I'm wearing this. And I said, what? I looked at Kip and I go, this is a proud parent moment, #winning. and he wore his Epic XVIII shirt so proudly that day, and he's been wearing it since, and I was like, so is that like the only thing you're gonna wear now? And he's like, I like this shirt. It fits nice. It feels good. So you have a 14-year-old fan. He quite enjoys your t-shirts, if that's a review for you. I wanted to share that with you guys so that you knew that our little kids enjoy you too. That being said, as far as like reaching into different markets, and you'd be the first band I've asked this to, how important is it to try to glean, I would say, a fan base in a younger generation? Did I kill you?
Silence.
Hello?
Oh.
Did you accidentally hang up? Did you hit mute?
We did hit mute. Oh my gosh, we did. It's okay. It's okay.
God,
We
guys,
weren't
what were you
talking.
saying? They were thinking it.
Bad
decision.
So, okay, can you please repeat the question?
All right. So how important is it, because this, like I said, this segues into my next question. How important is it for you guys to try to glean insight and fandom or a fan base in a younger generation?
It's really important. I think the one thing that I really appreciate about this band, sorry to kind of fluff up Adam's ego, but the lyrics are always like, they're really inspirational for most of the songs. Except kids don't go and be an outlaw. Probably shouldn't do that. But
just don't get caught.
Yeah, that's true. But I remember listening to Don't Let Nobody for the first time, and like it kind of like striking a chord in the inner child in me. Sorry about that. That was a Freudian slip. And
are you an outlaw? I don't know. What's gonna happen at that border next time?
No, I do not strike children, and my inner child has not been stricken. Anyway, getting back to the point, it's hard getting out to the youth because, oh man, as Thomas said, I'm a substitute teacher, so I'll occasionally talk to kids about music, and I'll mention my band, and they ask me like, so what kind of music is it? And I'll be like, ska. And they say, what is ska? And I die a little inside. And that's when I came up with my saying, every time someone asks what is ska, a horn player loses their chops. Yeah, so it's a little, yeah, that was my one shining moment in the band. But it's hard, but it's not like we're not trying. Like Adam's a high school teacher, Logan is a junior high teacher. They reach out to their students. They get pretty good feedback from them. But it's honestly kind of, I think the hardest part is getting them into just the genre of music.
Yeah, because all you have to do is go beep boop on a computer, and that's cool. If you mix some like trap, I'm gonna shoot a bitch and hoe and sell some drugs, then we're cool. It's true. Yeah. I work with youth, and it's like mindless drivel, and they're like, "This is real life. Trap life is real life, motherfucker. Please, jail ain't a good retirement plan. Number one, and number two, like there's so much more to engage your brain." Start playing that shit in the background of your class, just like today.
Way ahead of you.
Good. You can incorporate music, I think, and the history behind it into any sort of teachable moment at school. Every single subject you can tie music into because it's history, it's science, because you have to build an instrument, it's tech class. It's math, it's, anatomy and physiology and psychology for what it does to your brain. Look at that. It's everything. Music is life.
There you go.
Preach on.
Yeah, you preaching to the choir.
Good. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
So, guys, we have almost approached the top of the hour. What do you want to say in closing? Saturday, tune in. Give us a time.
Saturday, I believe we're going like at 1 o'clock. That's Pacific Standard Time, so that would be 3 o'clock your time,
Correct.
or 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time,
Yep.
or 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Because I have family in Denver. Okay.
That's important. We do that too. We go all over
I
too.
think everyone has family in Denver.
So yeah, tune in. We're going to be having a good time. Hopefully,
And if you don't,
there's going to be a little surprise at the end. Maybe for them. I'm not sure I'm down with the little surprise that they have in mind. But yeah,
A little bit.
just the tip of the surprise. So,
We're getting into.
and on that note,
Epic XVIII.
Epic 18,
Epic 18.
Epic
we-
18.
we aim for Epic 8.
So, thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure getting to speak to more of the band this time.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Happy to talk to you.
And whenever you have new music, feel free to post on our page. Share your events on our page, because that's what we're all about. Or invite us, and then we'll put it in our story, and we'll post it all over. And don't forget Merch Monday!
Merch Monday, absolutely.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
with that,
Good.
we will leave you into this evening. I bid you adieu. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure, Thomas, that we will talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye, Jess.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Bye! That was Epic 18. This has been Jess the Sky Kid and the Knights of the Round Table. You can tune in Thursday. We're going to be live with Nothing Lost from Texas. And again, tune in Saturday, Epic 18, 1 p.m. Pacific. That's 3 Central, 4 Eastern, 2 Mountain. So, with that, we leave you. Kay?
thanks.
Bye.
I don't want to say bye, so I just say it with the kid.
Come on